Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to my channel, Hairliciously. If you guys are new to the channel, please make sure to hit that subscribe button so that you guys are updated on hair loss and hair transplant topics, as well as updates on current research for hair loss treatments currently in the pipelines. Visit my website at hairliciously.com to purchase your microneedling devices, which are scientifically proven to stimulate hair growth, my low-level laser therapy cap, hair growth vitamins, DHT blocking shampoo and serum, and a few other products for those who are suffering from hair loss. If you guys are looking for a good hair transplant clinic, take a look at Motion Clinic in South Korea, where I got 2 FUE procedures there. They're currently having a 50% off promotion, so you guys can get a free online consultation, figure out how many grafts that you guys are going to need, and I'm going to have all of the contact information in the description box below for those who are interested. So a few months back, I don't know if you guys recall, but I did a video on some incredible before and after results of people that have been incorporating microneedling into their hair loss treatment regimen to promote hair growth. Most people were using a combination therapy to target hair loss through several different mechanisms of action, including things like 5-alpha reductase inhibitors, finasteride, dutasteride, topical or oral minoxidil to stimulate growth, laser therapy, anti-androgens, and a few other treatments known to help with hair growth. One guy that I covered was from the forum Hair Loss Talk. He went by username Narwhal7, and he actually shared with us some incredible results after fighting hair loss as a Norwood 7. His results were incredible because he was a hyper responder to treatment, and he literally went from a Norwood 7 back to a Norwood 3 after just 1 year of treatment. The interesting aspect about this was that he experienced advanced hair loss starting from an early age, and by 23 he actually went full Norwood 7, and he didn't start treatment until 9 years later at the age of 32. So I think his experience and the fact that he was able to reverse hair loss even 9 years after he went fully bald is just truly amazing. I'll share what his before and after photos look like in a little bit, but his hair loss treatment regimen basically consisted of something known as the Big 3 plus microneedling. He was on 1 milligram finasteride daily, 5% minoxidil twice a day, nice roll shampoo 3 to 4 times a week, and then a 1.5 millimeter derma rolling once every 7 to 10 days. It looks like he also switched from the derma roller to a Dr Pen. He was also taking daily biotin, vitamin D3, collagen peptides 3 times a week. He says that he's been pretty consistent with treatment, other than the fact that he missed maybe a week's worth of finasteride due to going on vacation. As far as side effects were concerned, normal libido, although he did experience some testicular aching, and there was no indication of any cognitive impairment. Here is his before photo. You can see some pretty extensive hair loss from various angles, and he is only left with a rim of hair that would typically classify him as a Norwood 6, borderline Norwood 7. And then after a year of religious treatment, he literally went back to a Norwood 3 with his hair follicles revived. In the island portion of the hairline, we can see a nicely defined Norwood 3 hairline that was non-existent previously, and the crown and mid-scalp has seen some pretty extensive density and growth as well. And when you see results like this guy, we have to classify them as a hyper-responder treatment because the majority are not going to see crazy gains like this guy. But nevertheless, it's really amazing to see how he was a near fully bald person, didn't intervene with any hair loss medication for 9 whole years, and then after just 1 year of consistent treatment, he was able to regrow most of his miniaturized hair on his scalp. Some of you guys were commenting that he was using Topic or a hair concealer to beef up the illusion of density, but he makes it clear in a 2-year update that he posted a few months back that he has not used any concealers or hair fibers in any of the photos that he provided. So after 2 years, he finally gives us another update to his hair, and to our surprise, this is what actually had happened. The Norwood 3 hairline that he once had after 1 year of treatment is no longer there, with significant hair loss once again to the frontal hairline. The mid-scalp also suffered a lot of hair loss progression, as well as with noticeable thinning, especially around the crown area. But fortunately, he didn't go completely back to a Norwood 7, which was where we started with. We can still see that he was still able to maintain some portion of his hair, particularly around the crown area and even the mid-scalp. So he didn't go back to square one, but he did lose ground. I'm sure a lot of you guys are wondering what had exactly happened, especially when this guy was such a hyper responder to the Big 3 and microneedling. So it turns out that he stated that his hair growth peaked around the 14-month mark in terms of regrowth, and then he was able to maintain or slowly regressed over the next year. One big attribution to his hair loss, according to his own acknowledgement, was the fact that he had stopped using Minoxidil. He stopped using Minoxidil because he claims that it had made his hair greasy and it made it look thinner. And I have to agree that it was stupid of him to stop Minoxidil treatment, because as a growth agonist, that was a significant reason why he was able to regrow a good portion of his hair back. It makes no sense to me that he would stop treatment if he had no side effects, because it made his hair greasy and look thin. And when in reality, when halting Minoxidil had resulted in him balding even further with more loss, and all the gains that he had previously was just wiped away. A huge part of just being able to regrow and slow down further hair loss is to always be consistent with treatment. Hair loss treatments are treatments. They're not a cure, and it has to be a lifetime commitment. The moment that you stop using either Minoxidil or finasteride or dutasteride or any other treatment is the moment that you guys are going to start to see a decline in hair growth. And as you know, at 7, when this guy started off, finasteride probably didn't really do much in terms of hair growth, only because finasteride doesn't work as a growth stimulator. It just targets the conversion of testosterone to DHT. So I'm pretty certain that most of his gains were attributed from Minoxidil and microneedling, and to stop treatment on his part resulted in him losing so much of the hairs that he previously had gained back. He did, however, get a hair transplant shortly after with a little over 3,400 grafts into the hairline, the mid-scalp and the vertex regions. So after a few months, he's probably going to see some good growth and density. But I really do hope that, he doesn't stop all treatment simply because he's had a hair transplant, because that honestly would be just asking for disaster. Just because you had a hair transplant doesn't mean that you are not going to have any progression of hair loss. There is a good chance that some of the implanted grafts are still going to be prone to miniaturization, because hair transplant doctors, even to this day, don't understand exactly where the proper donor zone is to pull hair follicles that are DHT resistant. And even if you may think that a certain region in the back of the donor zone is not prone to miniaturization, that can always change over time. So having undergone a hair transplant, this guy at a bare minimum still needs to be on a 5-alpha reductase inhibitor like finasteride or dutasteride, or look into an anti-androgen to target the root cause of hair loss. Honestly speaking, had he still stuck with Minoxidil treatment along with finasteride, I don't know if he quit finasteride or not, but this guy probably could have saved a lot more money and not have to have used up so many grafts, especially in the vertex and mid-scalp, because his 1-year results looked phenomenal. And I don't know how much of the lighting played for density visualization, but it looked like he actually didn't even need a transplant in those areas. He probably could have just gotten by with some grafts to improve the hairline, but he ended up having to spend a lot more money and his hair grafts to fill in the areas that had lost regrowth. The same goes for finasteride, especially for those who get on it and when they start seeing the first signs of miniaturization. There's a good chance that those who start early into treatment are able to slow further hair loss. So the number one key is to be proactive. The sooner you start, the more hairs you guys are going to be able to keep. And unfortunately for this guy, he started a bit too late when he lost the majority of his hair, which could have most likely been able to be saved had he started treatment early on. We know that finasteride is effective in about 85% of men. So that's not to say that treatments like Minoxidil aren't going to work even years after hair has been lost. Since in this guy's case, he saw tremendous growth for somebody who was well into the advanced stages of hair loss. Hope this video sheds some light on the importance of sticking with treatment and the commitment that has to be followed if you truly want to slow the progression of hair loss, at least with the current medications that we have available. Hope this video has been insightful. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach me via email through the contacts on my website at hairliciously.com, or you can leave me some comments below. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Take care.